Nearly 5 decades of flying to the far corners of the world, carrying cargoes ranging from the ordinary to the unusual to the unconventional. 5 decades of building a reputation for innovation, competence, integrity, and value. That's Southern Air Transport, an unquestioned leader in the air cargo industry. But today's modern fleet of aircraft is a far cry from Southern Air's modest beginnings. Southern Air Transport began service in 1947 with a single World War II vintage C-46 cargo aircraft. In the early days, Southern Air carried food products, animals, industrial and agricultural equipment, and whatever else would fit aboard the C-46 and the DC-3s, DC-4s, and DC-6s that followed. Southern Air grew slowly but steadily through the 1950s, and in the mid-1960s, started compiling what would be a long list of firsts. In 1968, Southern Air took a step that would revolutionize the company and the air cargo industry by becoming one of the first commercial airlines to fly the Lockheed L-100 Hercules. It was the Hercules that made Southern Air the uncommon carrier. Few could have foreseen the evolution of Hercules operations over the next quarter century at Southern Air. While becoming the world's largest commercial operator of L-100s, the innovators at SAT were proving the Hercules to be one of the most versatile aircraft ever built. This is an aircraft built to haul outsized cargo, whether to a modern metropolitan airport or a gravel strip carved out of a remote jungle. And Southern Air pioneered outsized cargo services. On the Herc, outsized cargo means helicopters, construction equipment, generators, oil drilling equipment, cars, trucks, and more. Thanks to the Hercules, Southern Air Transport became a leader in the transport of large jet engines. We've flown spare and replacement engines across the country and internationally for major airlines and manufacturers. Most of the big fan jet engines in use today will fit aboard our Hercs. Southern Air's Hercules fleet can also handle delicate cargo, such as exotic marine animals, and the Egyptian Ramses II collection we moved for several museums. An interesting and rewarding aspect of Southern Air's operations is that we are often called upon to lend a hand in the wake of natural and man-made disasters around the world. In the early 90s, SAT aircraft played a key role in the massive airlift of food and medical supplies to the starving people of Somalia. Operating from bases in neighboring Kenya, SAT Hercs made hundreds of flights into Mogadishu, Baidoa, and numerous other remote airstrips in Somalia. SAT's important role in that region continued after American troops were withdrawn from Somalia in 1994, as our Hercs continued delivering critically needed food and other supplies. Southern Air's Hercs are able to land on primitive airstrips, such as this one at Akon in the Sudan. The village contains a United Nations feeding center, and even as local residents unload the aircraft by hand, people can be seen lining up just a few yards away to receive the desperately needed food. For many of the people in need, there are no roads, no airfields. The only way to supply them is with airdrops from our Hercs. Several years earlier, Southern Air adapted military techniques and became the first commercial operator of the L-100 Hercules to make airdrops of food and supplies. The drops are made at low altitude and require a high degree of skill on the part of flight crews and loadmasters to hit the drop zone while maintaining the stability of the aircraft. We've been chartered by the United Nations, World Food Program, Lutheran World Federation, Doctors Without Borders, Caritas, AmeriCares, and the International Committee of the Red Cross. Southern Air Transport is proud of its continuing role in global humanitarian efforts. While the Hercules was designed to be a cargo aircraft, the innovators at Southern Air have proven it can also carry passengers in relative comfort. In 1995, SAT began the modification of 6 of its L-100s to permit up to 18 passengers to travel with up to 20 tons of freight. The removable self-contained module features a galley, lavatory, baggage storage, and meets all Federal Aviation Administration requirements. More than 300 civilian engineers and tradespeople were transported to Tuzla, Bosnia on Southern Air's L-100 Combi in early 1996 to help rebuild the war-torn country's infrastructure after the implementation of the Dayton Peace Accord. Today, our relationship with the U.S. military continues as Southern Air Hercs fly scheduled cargo runs for the Air Mobility Command on a route linking England, Germany, and Turkey. Our L-100s also fly regular routes supplying U.S. military bases and embassies in Asia and Central and South America. The L-100 Hercules has been a part of our fleet for more than 25 years and will continue to be a Southern Air workhorse for years to come. The first 4 decades of Southern Air's operations were ones of growth, innovation, and accomplishment. But the end of the Cold War and the redrawing of maps in Eastern Europe and the former Soviet Union, the downsizing of the U.S. military, and global economic changes mean even greater challenges for Southern Air Transport. And we're meeting those challenges with new aircraft and new business opportunities. In the early 90s, SAT began acquiring DC-8 freighters equipped with new, fuel-efficient engines which meet the most stringent Stage 3 noise regulations. In fact, all of our aircraft meet Stage 3 regulations, meaning they can fly into any airport in the world, anytime, day or night. Our latest acquisitions, which will help carry Southern Air into the next century, are Boeing 747-200 series freighters. With their great fuel efficiency and incredible lift capacity, the 747 will keep SAT in the forefront among the world's cargo airlines. The first 747 went into service in mid-1994, flying a regular route between Miami and Bogota, Colombia. Operating under contract to Frontier de Colombia, the 747 fly general cargo to Bogota and return loaded with flowers. Other equally important affiliations for our 747 service have followed, such as a 1995 wet lease contract with Japan Airlines, serving Tokyo through Anchorage, Chicago, Los Angeles, and New York. As Southern Air's operations have grown through the years, so have our physical facilities. After 48 years in Miami, Southern Air moved its operations and maintenance facilities to Columbus, Ohio in 1995. Columbus's Rickenbacker International Airport, a former U.S. Air Force base which features 2 12,000-foot parallel runways, is situated within 500 miles of the nation's major distribution centers and has emerged as one of the fastest-growing North American cargo hubs. Future plans call for a new Southern Air facility at Rickenbacker. To aid in the expansion of business in the West and Pacific region, as well as servicing existing clients, Southern Air maintains a busy sales office in Los Angeles. Miami's sales office continues to serve customers in Central and South America. And halfway around the world, a similar sales office in London handles accounts throughout Europe, Africa, and the Middle East. SAT also has general sales agents in Alaska, Canada, and throughout South America. Down through our history, one thing has remained constant at Southern Air Transport: the dedication, loyalty, and innovative spirit of our employees worldwide. Southern Air Transport, a company continually striving to provide the best value in worldwide charters, aircraft wet leasing, and flight and maintenance training. Southern Air Transport, remaining an industry leader by meeting challenges ranging from the common to the extraordinary. Southern Air Transport, the uncommon carrier.